Welcome to Olympian Water Testing, giving you the best in water analysis. Today we're looking at the EPA's website, Chromium in drinking water. So we're going to learn the EPA's understanding of this, their background, and what they take a look at when it comes to chromium. So their background on chromium. Chromium is an odorless, tasteless metallic element, and it's found naturally in rocks, plants, soil, and volcanic dust in animals. And the most common forms of chromium that occur in natural waters in the environment are trivalent chromium, which is chromium-3, and hexavalent chromium, chromium-6. Chromium-3 is an essential human dietary element, and it's found in many vegetables, fruits, meats, grains, and yeast. Chromium-6 occurs naturally in the environment from the erosion of natural chromium deposits. That being said, it can also be produced by industrial processes, and there are demonstrated instances of chromium being released to the environment by leakage, poor storage, or inadequate industrial waste disposal practices. Now, what is the Chromium Drinking Water Standard? In the EPA's own words, the Safe Drinking Water Act, the SDWA, requires the EPA to determine the level of contaminants in the drinking water at which no adverse health effects are likely to occur. These are non-enforceable health goals based on possible health risks from exposure over a lifetime, are called Maximum Containment Level Goals, or MCLG. And EPA sets enforceable standards for drinking water contaminants best on the base available science to prevent potential health problems. In most cases, the enforceable standard is known as a maximum containment level, the maximum permissible level of a contaminant in water which is delivered to any user of public water systems. And MCLs are set close to the health goals as possible after considering costs, benefits, the ability of public water systems to detect and remove contaminants using suitable treatment technologies. And the National Primarily Drinking Water Regulation that established the MCL for the total chromium of 0.1 milligrams per liter, and it was promulgated in 1991. The SDWA requires the EPA to periodically review the National Primary Drinking Water Regulation for each contaminant and revise the regulation if appropriate. EPA reviewed total chromium as part of a second 6-year review that was announced in March 2010. The agency noted in March 2010 that had initiated a reassessment of health risks associated with chromium exposure, and that the agency did not believe it was appropriate to revise the National Primary Drinking Water Regulation while that effort was in the process. In September 2010, the EPA released a draft of Scientific Human Health Assessment, Toxicology Review of Hexavalent Chromium for public comment and external peer review. And when this human health assessment is finalized, the EPA will carefully review the conclusions and consider all relevant information to determine if the current chromium standard should be revised. And to assess the levels of chromium-6 in drinking water, the EPA is requiring a selected number of systems to perform chromium-6 monitoring under the third Unregulated Containment Monitoring Regulation, UCMR3, and UCMR3 requires many, but not all public water systems to monitor chromium-6 for a 1-year period. So that is how the EPA works specifically with chromium, how they classify the different levels, and what they do to regulate it. And that's a lot of good work on their part. That being said, they can't catch everything. That's why it's always a good idea to periodically test your water for high levels of chromium, especially chromium-6.